Hello again, fellow browncoats. Well, it's time to take a look at the second episode of Firefly. Sorry, the second episode of Firefly, The Train Job. Captain Malcolm Mal Reynolds, Zoe and Jane Cobb are in a bar. When a drunk patron named Lund celebrates the 6th anniversary of the Alliance's victory on Unification Day with a toast, a former browncoat, picks a fight. Zoe immediately steps up to help him out, but Jane holds back at first. Hey, I don't find no war. Best of luck, though. But eventually joins the melee. Grail outnumbered, Mal radios his pilot Wash for help. Serenity arrives just in time and rescues the hapless crew, with Wash managing to trick their attackers into thinking the ship is armed long enough for an escape. In the ship's infirmary, Dr. Simon Tam is tending to his mentally disturbed teenage sister River. One of the passengers, Shepard Book, tells Mal that Simon is very brave for giving up his life as a wealthy doctor to go on the run to protect his sister. On a skyplex, an orbiting space city, Mal, Zoe, and Jay meet with Crime Lord Adeli Niska and his hulking Lieutenant Crow. To show that he's not to be trifled with, Niska shows them a bloody corpse hanging by its feet and explains it belongs to the last person who failed him. Niska has a job for Mal and his crew. Steal 2 crates from a train as it travels from Hancock to Paradiso and deliver it to Crow. Mal shows interest in knowing what is in the crates, stating it's one of his rules. When Mal and Zoe board the train, they discover that an entire squad of Alliance troops is also on board, not specifically guarding the cargo. After the pair break into the locked train car and secure the crates, Jane is lowered on a winch while Serenity maintains its position over the speeding train. While they attach the cargo to the winch, a Curious trooper trips a smoke trap Zoe set up at the car door. The resulting chaos, and when Jane is hoisted back up to the ship along with the crates. Mal knocks out the soldier before he can see what is happening, and Mal and Zoe use smoke bombs to re-enter the passenger car without anyone the wiser. Wash parks Serenity in a canyon, not at the rendezvous point. Jane tells the rest of the crew that they should finish the job, but Wash refuses to abandon his wife and Mal. Shepard wisely points out that if Niska finds out Mal is being held, and may speak as to hired him, I think we're better off being a little late. Jane eventually tries to take control of the ship by force, but Simon disables him with pain-killing drugs. Meanwhile, while waiting at Paradiso, Mal and Zoe guess to learn that the cargo they stole is actually medicine desperately needed in the poor mining town, whose residents all suffer from Bowden's malady, a degenerative disease caused by mining activity. The local sheriff is suspicious of Mal's cover story and that he and Zoe are a married couple looking for work. Nara appears and uses her considerable status as a companion, also claiming that Mal is a runaway indentured man who persuaded Zoe to leave her husband. The impressed sheriff lets her take the runaways back into her own custody. Back on the ship, Mal announces to crew that they will deliver the medicine to the townspeople and return Niska's money to him. However, Crow and his henchmen find them, and a violent fight ensues, which the Serenity crew wins. After the villains are secured, Mal and Zoe drive the cargo back to the outskirts of town, and then drop off the crates and notify the sheriff once they are well away, only to be surprised by the sheriff and his deputies. Regardless of what they have done, and impressive Mal chose not to flee with the medicine while he could. He lets them go free. Outside Serenity, Mal instructs a trusted Crow to tell Niska the deal went south, but Crow threatens to hunt Mal down. Mal casually kicks Crow into Serenity's running engine intake, killing him. The next henchman proves more cooperative and agrees to lie. Back on an Alliance cruiser, 2 mysterious men in white suits and wearing blue gloves inquire about a girl and shows the captain a photo of River Tam. Alright, so let's look at some notes surrounding this episode. Since this second episode was actually the first to be aired, writers Joss Whedon and Tim Minear had to introduce the characters to the new audience, even though many of the elements of these introductions were covered in the actual pilot Serenity. Quite a bit of the dialogue alludes to the information provided in the pilot. The ominous Hands of Blue, 2 men who are pursuing River, first appear in this episode. As noted by Tim Minear in the DVD commentary, Buck's knowledge of underworld dealings, particularly his theory of Niska's reaction to incarcerating Mal and Zoe, alludes to his cryptic past. Ooh. So overall, I think this episode is pretty good, but honestly, I think that the first episode works better as a pilot overall instead of this one, so yeah. So overall, I give The Train Job 4 fireflies out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in next week as we take the next episode, Bushwhacked. So until then, remember everyone, you can't take the sky from me.